This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion, updates, talk. What do you want it to be today? Well, it's going to be an update from me on what the Oilers were talking about today on their website, discussing all things Switzerland. Oh yeah, you know what? That's a place in Europe, which means only one thing. When we talk about a place in Europe, that means there's Oilers prospects or players playing there. And one of those guys, why I have to say players, is because we've got on loan on the COVID loan protocol situation. Gaetan Haas is playing over there in Switzerland with SC Bern. Pardon me. You'd think I'd hit end record and start again, but that's not how we do business here on Dolynny TV. We keep going despite the distractions and the interruptions. My friends, yes, Gaetan Haas in there with SC Bern of the National League, which is the top ranked league in Switzerland. Then you've got Ryan McLeod, who we all know had that very hot start with Evie Zug. I believe Zug is how I was told to pronounce it back on an Instagram comment. Oh, let me check something here for you. I happen to have the Instagram comment right here. My goodness, you can follow me on Instagram, by the way. But yeah, here we go. Evie Zug. There we go. That coming in from Michael Stutz. Michael on Twitter. Appreciate that. Thank you. There we go. I do pay attention to what you guys correct me. I try to get it right. All right, I do try to get it right. It's just there's a bajillion things being thrown at me here when it comes to Europe, and it's focusing on any of them to get good enough at them has been brutal. Anyway, let's get to it, shall we? Simply put, simply done. That's the National League. But then in the Swiss Second League, the Swiss League, the GCK Lions have a guy who's leading the team that just so happens to be 22-year-old Tyler Benson, who's pushing hard for a roster spot up front this season. And you know what? All things considered, might push out a Joachim Nygaard or a Patrick Russell for a roster spot. And doesn't that then get everything more interesting than it was to begin with? So this year, I tell you, this new hockey season we're going to get to, if we ever get to it, is going to be the gift that just keeps on giving. Because after the playoffs ended and we've gone all this way all now to December, the whole off season has just been the gift that keeps on giving. 2020 has been the gift that keeps on giving. And I'm not talking in good terms. I'm not talking in bad terms. I'm talking in all terms, right? Bad, good, ugly, great, whatever. It has been all dependent on anything in your life. A good, bad, great, ugly year. And a gift that keeps on giving in all facets of those words. So that's our hockey season that we have coming up. And these three guys over here in Switzerland perhaps reflect that best. For Gaetan Haas, who's had a weird go of it, right? A really slow start with SC Bern. He could end up finding himself, if we don't find a deal for Kara, if we don't find a situation that fits the Oilers better and whatnot, Haas could end up staying there. Uh-oh, that's not good for him. But I guess for the Oilers it's pretty good. That's 900 some odd thousand saved against the cap. So yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with that. Okay, yeah, no, that's good. I can work with that. But then you've got, you've got Ryan McLeod. I've already talked about Tyler Benson, but you've got Ryan McLeod. And Ryan McLeod is a heck of a kid coming up the middle that we'd really like to take a chance on here one of these days and see what he has at the NHL level. But if he's doing well enough to hold his own in pro hockey in Switzerland, again, right, we're starting to talk. Some guys might stay over in Europe, even if they're regulars in the AHL for us. McLeod, is he that guy that's an AHL regular that stays in Europe? Is he a taxi squad guy, or is he a guy in your NHL lineup? Discuss amongst yourselves, because that's as good a question as we're going to find in Switzerland. Tyler Benson, obviously, they've put out enough articles about him recently. This is really a make it or break it. Last year was make it or break it. And guess what? Tyler Benson made the NHL last year. That's as make or break as it needed to be last year. Now this year's the step forward, and I think playing more than 50% of the games would show that. But again, right? Tough to do if you're over in Europe, but I doubt Tyler Benson is a guy that stays in Europe all year. You want to talk taxi squad, Tyler Benson at minimum is a taxi squad player. If not, the AHL having a team in Edmonton in a Canadian division with the other 7 Canadian teams, AHL teams this year. I guess other 6. Math, it's, what day is it? It's Wednesday. We're halfway to Friday. You can let that one slide, okay? You can let me slide on the math for just a little bit. Okay, let's get to the stats here for our guys in Switzerland. You would know if you've read anything about the Oilers online in the past week. Tyler Benson contracted COVID-19. He survived COVID-19 and he got back to playing hockey. And he got back to playing hockey really well, I guess is what I'm trying to say. 2 goals, 11 assists, 13 points in 11 games for the GCK Lions of the Swiss League. He leads the team. He added a pair of assists in the Swiss Cup tournament game, which everybody in this list of players we're talking about today has played games in the Swiss Cup, which is additional bonus games, which at this time when the league is postponing games, it's great to see our guys being able to get bonus games in. Huge, mint, awesome. And then you have Ryan McLeod, who's been off to a good start, right? Hot start. Now it's just turned into a good start with EV Zug in the National League, right? Tyler Benson, 2nd division. Haas, McLeod, 1st division, top division. 21-year-old McLeod, 3 goals, 3 assists for 6 points. Okay, 10 games played and 1 goal, 2 assists in 3 points in 2 games in the Swiss Cup. And then you have, oh yes, the matchup that we're all waiting for in Switzerland tomorrow. Oh, baby, this has got to be prime time, and it'll probably be what, 10 a.m. here? Just having a little fun with it, all right? We don't got much else to enjoy today. McLeod, he is scheduled to play Gaetan Haas, according to this Oilers.com article that I was referencing earlier by Ryan Frankson of EdmontonOilers.com. Yeah, he'll take on Haas in a matchup on Thursday. The 28-year-old Haas has scored 3 goals and 2 assists. 5 points total in 10 games. And you know what? Nothing to report in the Swiss Cup. So that's a thing. But Tyler Benson and Ryan McLeod, those are the names we're really paying attention to. Those are the names we really need to pay attention to. But you kind of have level of how things could go, right? Ryan McLeod, one way or the other, he'll be playing hockey. Tyler Benson, one way or another, he'll be playing in the NHL this year. Gaetan Haas, one way or another, we'll solve a problem using him, right? Whether we trade Jujhar Khaira and need a 4th-line center, or we keep Jujhar Khaira and need to free up salary cap, he stays in Europe. You get where I'm going? There's a couple one way or another's with 3 of these guys in Switzerland, and man, do I love not having anything better to do but find the likenesses or the similarities, or the words escape me. English not good today either. English was bad yesterday too, but you get where I'm going. The similarities between all 3 players is it's one way or another. What they need to do this season is going to be figured out. Guys, I'm Tyson, Dolynny TV, up on out of here.